This is the 1999 Honda S2000, a car built purely for fun. That's it. It's got all the sports car goodies a sports car lover could want. Front engine, rear wheel drive layout, a short throw 6-speed, firm bucket seats, all in a little package weighing less than 2,800 pounds. Connected to that 6-speed manual, which is what all S2000s came with, is the S2000's crown jewel, what everyone knows the S2K for, and that's the engine. The aluminum block 2-liter inline 4-cylinder, pumping out an impressive 240 horsepower and 153 foot-pounds of torque. But the best part about that engine is that it revs to 9,000 RPM. Oh my gosh. There's nothing on the road here that can rev even close to that. It creates an incredible experience to drive. Oh, but you've got to retune your ears to your shift points and watch that tack, the beautiful tack that stretches all the way across the gauge cluster. It looks so cool. But if it wasn't for that Honda badge up there when you rev this thing up, you'd think you were hurting something. It's so much. And up over 7,000 RPM. The exhaust note, which I should add is an HKS system, the exhaust gets drowned out by the engine noise. What an experience, just incredible. And half of it is the adrenaline of taking many pieces of metal and spinning them over 9,000 revolutions a minute. And there's just quite the shriek when you get up there. Oh, it's addicting is what it is. Even so, the S2000 sprints to 60 in just over 6 seconds. So on paper, it's not quite as impressive as it feels. But that's not a bad thing. You feel like you're flying without the risk of flying to your nearest jail cell. And when you get to the corners, it doesn't disappoint either at all. It is on aftermarket lowered suspension, but again, it's so light, it's agile. It's got a racy feel to it. I weigh more than the engine, most likely. The body's made of steel, but that long, swooping hood you look over, that's made of aluminum. Its near perfect 50-50 weight distribution makes everything feel so perfectly planted, and it rides not harsh, but firmly. It's not uncomfortable at all. But because of the lack of torque from that little 4-cylinder, the back end doesn't wag around. There's no back end action. But the best part about this whole package, my 6'5" beanstocky frame fit in here, which is impressive because you look at this thing and you'd say, there's simply no way. I fit. I can barely operate the clutch with my foot. My knee is kind of, there's a little bit of wiggle room between the steering wheel and the console and the shifter, but it's bigger than an FD-RX-7 if you've ever been in one. So if you're around the 6-foot tall mark, you'd be perfect in here. I'm not looking over the windshield in here. There's lots of headroom, surprisingly, and thankfully, worst case, these are all convertibles. And this one's probably one of the nicest ones out there. Imported from Japan back in November, it's a one-owner car with the original aero, the original BBS forged OEM optioned wheels, and just 40,000 kilometers, which is 25,000 miles. That's it. This is going to be a collectible one day. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. going. Oh, I short shifted it there at 6,000 RPM.